nothing more awful to see than an incredibly talented player go down in non-contact injury. Just the third snap of the game, Kyler Murray doing his thing on a first down run, and he goes down, and he's not contacted. And then Matthew Judon standing over him and is waving at the Arizona sideline, and you just know this is a problem. This is a major problem when players are standing right over each other and they're immediately turning around and waving for the trainer to come out. It's serious, especially when said players then put on a cart, and then said players now surrounded by everybody who's on the field for your team and the opposition, and then said player puts a towel over his head, and then as he's about to leave, takes the towel off to take in the scene one more time. And that was Kyler Murray last night. And that puts a period, an unfortunate period, at the end of a very long, I guess the word is fascinating season for Kyler Murray, or calendar year for Kyler Murray. I mean, 2022 is a year in which he got generationally enriched, where every Murray from here on out won't have to worry about dollars and cents and things of that nature.
So that's the good thing.
But in between all that was a ton of drama. That's why I have, again, this piece of paper on my desk still. For some reason, I just can't quit this piece of paper because it's just, I always thought, like, this is not the end of the story. This is not the end of the journey. It's just the beginning of a season in which Kyler Murray, a former first overall draft choice Heisman Trophy winner out of Oklahoma, had his agent put out a statement saying the Arizona Cardinals are in danger of losing my services for long term. And, hey, Cardinals fans, don't blame me. And after that, before that happened, there was a scrubbing of his Instagram account right at the top of Super Bowl week here in Los Angeles that had him front and center on everybody's radar screens. Then, he goes through his offseason, eventually signs his contract, and just when you thought that was the end of that, we find out part of his contract was some wild clause that demanded he make sure that he uses his screen time for good and not Fortnite, I guess. And, it was constructed in some legalese that made sure that he was studying his playbook and not on his iPad. No dual screen situation for him. It seemed like it was written by Susie and me for our children. And we even had a segment talking about how, it's like Susie and I were going to use this as a contract with our children about their iPad screen time. It was so bizarre that the Cardinals then backed off because the question was, is Kyler mature enough to have this contract and be a leader of a team? In between all that, we learned that his all-world wide receiver would miss the first 6 games of a season, and this is the time when the Cardinals and the Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray era would get their wins. Yeah. It was the end of the season that's always been a problem. Finishing 8-8 their first year, 11-6 their second year together, but they were the last remaining undefeated team that year and blew the division to the eventual Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams, who boat raced them out of the playoffs, leading to everything that happened with Kyler Murray and his contract, and then comes the season. It's kind of crazy as we're sitting here right now. Week 5, the Cardinals lost to Jalen Hurts and the Eagles by 3 points to fall to 2-3. The Arizona Cardinals now exiting week 14 are 8 games behind the Philadelphia Eagles. 8 games behind the Philadelphia Eagles, who are 12-1. The Cardinals are now 4-9, and Kyler Murray is done for the season, and then for who knows how long. I think the MRI is just going to confirm what we all fear right now. So now the Cardinals are going to have to go into the offseason and Kyler rehabbing. That's the look you always see of somebody who's carted off, that they know the next several months are going to be filled with heartache and pain and surgery and recovery and working out and getting back and believing in self. Right up here, you're tapping your temple over there, TJ. It's about the mental aspect of trying to come back. And now you're going to have to wonder, when can he be back in week 1? And next year, are we going to be talking about how some ACLs are different than others, and it takes a while to come back. And maybe at this point next year, we're talking about Kyler's finally beginning to look like himself again. And this is the state of the Arizona Cardinals, who re-signed their coach and general manager and quarterback this offseason. And now they are 4-9 entering week 15. This is a dreadful state of affairs. There's just no other way to put it. And I feel for everybody in that organization. Obviously, I feel for Kyler. I feel for, too, is J.J. Watt, who signed with this team thinking this is going to be his shot in his remaining window of opportunity to try and get a Super Bowl ring. And he chose Arizona, and now, he's still now 2 years into his tenure there with no playoff wins there. And this year is just a lost season. And this piece of paper is still on my desk, and it's been around long enough that Susie used it to blot her lipstick on it.
Well, Rich, you kept it because, like Chris says, you can't tell the story of the season without this. I kind of felt that as it happened, like when he signed his contract, and then the whole iPad clause came out and then was put to rest. I thought, okay, I can now take this off the desk. And I thought to myself, for some reason, there's just still a whole season-long storyline arc, and of course I did not think it would end with Kyler Murray going down in a heap without being contacted. And you look at his numbers for this year, and they are in just 11 starts. He has almost as many passing yards. He finishes currently, it'll be worse, but he leaves currently 18th on the list in touchdowns, and with just 14. The same number as, he's the only one with 4. It's the same number as Dak. Interesting. And then in terms of passing yards, Kyler Murray in his 11 starts has, as he leaves the field today, as many passing yards in the league right now as Davis Mills. Not what the Cardinals were in on. Davis Mills with the same number of starts. But obviously Murray missed some time too. So now that's the state of affairs of the Arizona Cardinals. And this is the Niners division. This is a Niners division right now to take, and we're going to see that in 2 nights from now. As the Rams and the Cardinals are sitting down at the bottom, you want to talk about the tale of 2 different 4-9 teams. That's the Rams in Week 15. The Niners and Seahawks start Week 15 on Thursday night, 2 nights from now. And the Niners could essentially wrap up this division. I think if I could just do the math in my head, as the Rams, by the way, finish the week in Green Bay. It starts on a Thursday night, or Niners at Seahawks, ends on a Monday night, Rams at Green Bay. That, the Niners would be 3 up on San Francisco with 3 to play and a tiebreak in their back pocket. I think it's going to come out that the Niners, all they have to do is win Thursday night with Brock Purdy, and they win the NFC West. How about that? Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.